April 21st, 2008. This is Diehard Gamer Radio, episode 46.
You are approaching the target of attack. Your mission starts now. Are you ready? The countdown begins. 3, 2, 1, go!
You are listening to Diehard Gamer Radio, the source for all-mainstream video game news and topics. And now, your hosts, Murdock, Brian, John, and Steve.
Just a couple more shots.
He's like, why am I here with these fuckheads? Get me home now!
There's nothing magnificent about this.
It's a little frightening.
Are you okay, John?
A barbershop quartet, it is not.
No, well, first of all, there's three of us. So
I blame Murdock, too.
Why?
he's on to us. Well, we blame Murdock just because.
Wow.
As a person in position of responsibility, you are responsible for all the members and actions of your crew. So, get him! And if that fails, run!
I'm not feeling the love here. All right, well, welcome back to Die Hard Gamer Radio. I am Murdock and T. Kirk.
Gone. Yeah. Okay.
So apparently Kirk just fell in the Grand Canyon.
He did. Fell in the Sarlacc.
All right, so
don't try and work out what today's star date is.
Okay. Yeah. So I'm Murdock, and with me is John. Nice John. We have Angry John.
Just to balance things out.
Yeah. We have Brian, and we have Steve. And Angry John will be giving us a nice review for us today.
I don't think it'll be nice.
Well, that is true. It is off a Uwe Boll film.
Uwe.
Doctor!
What's the petition up to, by the way? It's stalled at like 400,000 or something.
Oh, come on, people! I can add like 20 more to that.
Don't forget, the man is a doctor.
Yeah.
Doctor of what?
Who knows?
Yeah.
Something.
His head!
You got one of those, buy your own things online.
Or something.
You're an official doctor. Sign here.
I'm still betting it's going to max out at 500,000, best case. And, come on, it's Uwe Boll. He wouldn't stop making films even if there were 10 million signatures.
Yeah,
well, that's why.
Rub it in his face.
That's why I didn't sign it because, he's a giant douchebag. So, if a million people sign it, when a million people sign it, I said, I was joking. 5 million people need to sign it because that's what douchebags do.
Yeah. He is. Not so great.
So let us start with our gaming news because we have a lot on our plate today, and we're going to start with
I don't even have a plate.
I had one, but Murdock just cleaned it and put it in the sink.
So
I know.
You should have got one.
I got a bowl. It was in the wrong line.
Like Dr. Boll. No.
Yeah.
Dr. Boll?
Yes, he's Dr. Uwe Boll. I don't know what he's a doctor of.
He's a doctor of bad films. It's the only thing he could get a doctorate on.
He's a doctorate in creative financing.
Can you get tenure for that?
He keeps getting people to pay for his films. That's brilliant.
Yeah, that's where he's excelling.
He needs to work for Bear Stearns.
Then they'd really.
I think the people at Bear Stearns need to be working at Bear Stearns. It's the first overcoming hurdle.
Epic fail!
All right, so let us start with a new Castlevania game, which would interest only Brian and myself.
But this is different than the other new Castlevania game?
Quiet you.
Does it involve using whips and chains and killing supernatural creatures?
Maybe.
I think so!
And hiding morning
I bet
stars
there's a
in
vampire
castles
involved somewhere.
and candles.
Maybe even Dracula.
Yeah, but it is called Castlevania Order of Ecclesia.
Ecclesia?
Ecclesia.
It's like Ecclesiastes. It's like that.
Yeah.
But
not as long.
Yeah. And once again, it probably
different
means
word.
nothing. So,
It's a real word.
No, it's a real
Well,
word.
I know it's a real word, but
it has some meaning.
yeah, but in the sense of Castlevania, it probably
you
doesn't.
mean in the sense of Japanese naming things?
Yes,
Yeah.
it probably
Yeah,
means
it probably
nothing.
means nothing.
Not so much.
All right. So next up, and this will interest pretty much everyone here.
Oh, you're just going to skip
Cracked
over the
me up when I read the
Castlevania
article.
Judgment?
The what?
Castlevania Judgment?
What is Castlevania Judgment?
There's a new Castlevania game that's also coming out that we have heard jack all about other than the name.
I don't know this.
Read Kotaku today. You can go back and do it later. Come back after you've done your homework. It's okay.
Well,
Well, no,
I only eat. I
No,
took a day off, and I only read the internet at work. So
No, I actually didn't have time to do it today, so please enlighten me, because I was actually very busy.
That's pretty much the sum total of the news that we have.
Oh,
and
it's-
besides, I'm not going to help you
What
cheat.
did they pull a copyright thing and that was it? Here's our new title.
Castlevania
Bum's the word.
Judgment. Okay, well,
you know what that means? The sequel, Castlevania Decision.
Yeah.
was this a Castlevania trial game like Phoenix Wright?
Yes.
Okay.
Sure, why not?
All right. So next up, pole dancing game announced for the Wii. This may interest
That's,
everyone. It's a
slight
rumor.
exaggeration.
It's a rumor. Yes.
Well, no, the company is asking for somebody to develop the game.
Yeah.
And you know, even if somebody made the game, who cares? Unless they're actually going to send a girl over to actually demonstrate the game for me.
There was some.
And then I wouldn't be watching the game. I'd be watching her.
But I'd score her.
Well, it could continue in the Grand Nintendo tradition of having to hire a group of hookers to play games with you.
No, it'd be just those two. It'd be those two Japanese guys at the door, and we all oiled up.
Dear God.
There was
Show Nikki.
there was with the Kotaku article there was a rather disturbing Flash video that accompanied it.
Yeah, that was great.
We would like to play. Oh, yeah. You're like, I have to go now.
Do you mean
why
the
don't you
one
guys
for
play?
the,
We're just gonna go into the other room.
Do you mean the one for the Twister game that the company's also made?
No, there was a little Flash one that basically had this guy who was like they had some Japanese dude who was, he was a Flash Japanese dude, but he was sitting in his living room in front of his daughter and his wife, and he was playing some stripper-like Wii game with these. It was no good.
Sounds like
so,
Japan.
Thanks, Japan. Moving on.
Yeah.
Thank you, Japan.
Once again.
May I have another?
Okay. So, Soul Calibur IV to be released on 7/29/08 will have 50 hobillion versions. Well, they'll actually have 2 versions per console.
So that way they'll be able to bundle different ones with different PS3 SKUs, and they'll all be able to be unique.
Yeah.
There'll be like 10.
Yeah, there'll be 10 different PS3 versions.
Yeah, so there'll be a premium edition which will have an art book and comic that will serve as the basis of the story of the Soul Calibur universe, which means nothing because it doesn't make any sense to begin with.
I'm sure that'll help really narrow the plot down for everybody.
Speaking of oddball PS3 SKUs, for some reason over the last week, the 60 gig import Japanese PS3 shot way the fuck up in price, up to $900 in price.
Isn't that the one that
Maybe
has
they finally
the
ran
motion
out.
engine in it?
I think it's the last one that has the backwards compatibility because
the
it's the last
hardware.
one with full backwards compatibility.
Right, with the actual PS2 inside it, essentially.
it got
That makes
down by
sense.
this. It came down this beginning of this week down to $780. But NCS is even telling their customers, don't bother to buy it from us right now because we have it on good authority. In the next 2 weeks, it's going to take a drop because there's a huge surplus of them out there that people don't know about, but we do. So, yeah, you can make a lot of money right now, but really, literally, just give it another week or two, and you'll probably save some money. They're really cool that way. They're not out there to try and rape everybody for every dime they can get. If they have inside information, they'll try and share it.
Save that for
Well,
the
when
other
your
companies.
business is selling import games that end up costing, twice as much as they do in their country of origin, probably pays to be upfront with your customers.
Yeah, doesn't hurt.
Good customer relations.
I really like
is
NCS
useful
for
in
that because they're
particular
very,
thing.
very honest with people.
But to continue with the Soul Calibur, it'll have a tournament kit, which I guess means that it'll come
It'll
with
be a
like
little pad of paper that
You
has
sure?
a tree on it that kind of branches out with little.
You sure that wasn't a
blanks.
tourniquet?
So in other words, it'll come with a tournament bracket, like like the Final Four. So it'll be like let's see, Davidson versus Cervantes. Yes.
No, a tournament kit will be like, it'll come with like some 10-year-old kid actually in the package that will do nothing but button mash. There's also
We don't need
it'll
that. We've got
have
Roger.
extra customization content as well.
Well, I'm
So,
still kind of not sold on this game because I have to pick up the 360 version. And Gabe's right. I mean, because the Soul Calibur is inherently evil, and if Yoda does pick it up, wouldn't he in fact become a Dark Jedi?
I think the problem is that as we've gone through versions, it's gotten worse. So not a lot of hope for 4.
This is rapidly approaching the franchises that need to die.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which was also what you're saying, Dynasty Warriors. That needs to die too.
Oh, and not just Dynasty Wars. It's
spawning spin-offs, man.
Yes.
We gotta kill it now.
It's breeding.
The samurai setting, Samurai Wars, and then of course the medieval setting. What is it? Bladestorm? Is that the name of it?
Oh, let's not forget Gundam Wars.
And the Gundam one too.
And they did the Samurai Warriors Dynasty Warriors crossover.
How do you cross over with your own game?
Well, no, you just have to swim across an ocean, is all. And then you can cross over.
Just like teleported everybody, I don't know, some bad guy teleported everybody together so they could all fight each other because he wanted to know who was the strongest.
It's going to be Robot Wars.
That's what villains do.
You're going to incorporate all the giant robots together. Why stop now?
Techromancer, dude.
No, that's what I'm saying. Technomonster at least did it right. But I mean, Jesus, we're going to see like the next one's going to be Robot Wars.
Super Robot Wars.
Fucking robots.
Super Robot
Wars.
Super
Robot Wars, yeah. That's right.
All right.
Super.
So next up, we have air traffic control game announced for the DS. 1981 Patco strike scenario not
to
included.
Pull some obscure shit.
That is not obscure. It's on Wikipedia. It's not obscure.
Oh yeah, because there's nothing obscure on Wikipedia.
Yes, and nobody gives a fuck about an air traffic controlling game.
Wow,
hey, the game might run
labor disputes.
The game might run better than our current air traffic control system.
What's next? A game about the Depression? Jesus
it might
Christ!
Be running on more
there is. It's called Rise of the Robots.
Yeah. That's a depression that is yet to happen.
Yes, and then here's your next game. It's the 1950 HUAC meetings. He's a commie! Burn him!
Yeah, it is. Here, in this game, you play Brezhnev, and if you do it just right, you can. If you slam your shoe on the podium just right, you get bonus points.
And you invade Afghanistan.
Yes.
You won't be able to get the right gesture controls otherwise.
No, you use the stylus to try and find the body of Jimmy Hoffa.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome.
Okay.
So we're not quite sure what this means, but it was kind of weird, so that's why it's in here.
Well, you're not sure what it means. The rest of us don't care what it means.
Will be what the average time is from between somebody starts playing and when they intentionally crash planes together.
Yeah. That would be kind of fun, actually.
Yeah. The first person to become an hero wins. All right. Next up, and this will...
That means you kill yourself.
Yeah.
No sense whatsoever.
Yeah.
So maybe you'd have to play it on a plane and have it interfere with the flight control systems.
Yes.
So next up, and this will probably not interest Angry John or might. We don't know.
Nobody gives a fuck about the next one, really.
Yeah, this was on our list of things.
Well, not only that, go ahead and say it, Murdock, because I've been thinking about this game, and it doesn't make any sense. Because, go ahead and tell what it...
Mortal Kombat versus DC Comics.
Pick Superman, because unless any of the Mortal Kombat characters have a move that involves kryptonite, Superman wins!
I think Reptile uses it. Oh, wait.
Yes.
So how is DC letting their heroes get eviscerated?
No,
there is no violence in the game.
Fatalities in the game.
So it's not actually Mortal Kombat.
Well, then it's not a Mortal Kombat. Yeah, exactly, man. What the fuck?
It's more
Only
evidence.
trying to hang on by a thread, Batman.
It's a Mortal Kombat game that isn't actually Mortal Kombat.
No,
think
it's more evidence.
Think Special Forces or was it
Special Olympics?
No, that Sub-Zero game.
Oh God!
I think it was just called Sub-Zero. It was called Mortal Kombat something Sub-Zero. That was the name of the game.
Like Mortal Kombat Legends.
And that's why it was a
Legends.
game.
Oh God, that's. Let's not go through.
It was anything but legendary, that's for sure.
It's a franchise that needs to die, and this is just another...
Well, I did mention Mortal Kombat.
No, it doesn't need to die. What they should do is kill everything and just say, hey, here's a copy of Mortal Kombat 2. Remember when our game was cool?
Remember when we had a good
before
game?
we started fucking with it? We should have left it alone.
All right. So,
and while they're at it, they can put Mortal Kombat 2 on Xbox Live Arcade, because I would pay for that.
Is it on the VC?
No.
No, Midway's too busy not making money.
Yeah, Midway's too busy making cruising sequels.
Yeah. Solid business plan there.
God, let the game die. Some driving games have an end.
You done? The USA did, man. It was a quarter eater.
Oh, fucking A, man. I enjoyed the original too.
I loved it when you could run into deer. Running into deer when we first did that in the arcade was
the
awesome.
concept of all the little hidden sidetracks you could take. I mean, you could take so many little offshoots in the course. It was actually a lot of fun.
All right. And what do you have, John?
Nothing.
He wants you to move on.
Okay.
Move faster.
All right. So next up, Soul Calibur announced for Xbox Live Arcade based off the Dreamcast version
speaking
of
of the
Soul
last
Calibur
good
that
Soul
probably won't
Calibur.
To
suck.
reiterate my point, put Mortal Kombat 2 on Xbox Live Arcade.
Is that why you wanted me to hurry up to the next one?
Well, no, here's the thing. I don't need Soul Calibur on Xbox Live Arcade because when I want to play Soul Calibur, I'll just hook up my Dreamcast.
They
Yeah.
might add network play, though.
That would be kind of cool.
No, because I don't want to get my ass kicked by a 12-year-old.
Yeah. So other words,
Button mashers have a
so basically you're going to
They play an important part in the gaming ecosystem.
Yeah. So when you play Soul Calibur online on XBlah, you're going to see like all these free games and all the opponents, and all of them are going to say Kalik.
And also, and on top of that, and then yes, you're gonna look at the list, and it's gonna be like, you just lost to Smokey McPot. Yes.
Yeah, but I'll get to play with the old Siegfried. It'll be great.
Or you can play it on the
Or you
Dreamcast.
could just do your Dreamcast and, you know.
It's in the basement now.
Oh,
Oh,
that's rough.
oh noes.
Not the basement.
Yeah.
That's where Harry Potter is kept.
I thought that was underneath the stairwell.
Wow. We don't have stairwell underneath rooms in
It's
in
an
the United
arduous
States.
journey to one's basement. So,
Yes, arduous.
Yes.
It is for
That's-
his. He has to go outside and come in the back door. It kind of
It's involved unpacking.
It-
trying to
it's-
find
it's-
a free
it's like a
input.
Zelda
It's
quest.
really not worth the effort.
It's a
kinda
Zelda
musty,
quest. He's
too.
going from the overworld to the underworld, and will have to fight bats.
You need
And-
to
You know, Cerberus will be guarding the gate. So
Yeah.
yes.
Octoroks, and you need to make one of those little tunnels like an E.T. that goes from like your front door to your basement door.
I keep lobbying for a fireman's pole, but I don't think it's going to happen.
Oh, man. I think your wife would enjoy it after you install it. Just do it anyways.
I think it would go over
The
well.
opinions of Brian.
May not actually cause marital bliss. Okay.
Yeah, but when I come
Well,
over
don't
and
you have to
slide
be
down that
married
pole-
first to have marital bliss?
Yeah, whatever. We're skipping over the details.
Technicality, schmecticality.
All right.
We'll fix it in post.
Books in
The
common.
marriage or the
Either one.
We'll tighten up the audio on that.
We really need to tighten up the graphics on level 5. Okay. Next up, first full album announced for Rock Band.
Finally!
Well,
What album is it?
It's Screaming for Vengeance by Judas Priest.
What
Yeah.
songs are on that?
Not many you
Not
know.
many you know. Electric Eye is on there.
That's it?
Well, there's one other one I can't remember, but yeah, there's nothing like real big. This isn't
So, no Living After Midnight?
no, none of the ones that are like the big classic ones that everybody knows. Yeah,
Breaking the Law?
No,
No. That was the next album.
no, it makes no sense why they released this album. There's zero reason why this should
that
be
would
the
be
first
like
album.
Maybe
that
it
would be
was
like
cheap.
No, seriously, no, he's right, but that would be like said, hey, guess what? Next album, Guns N' Roses, The Spaghetti Incident.
Yeah, Spaghetti Incidents. Because really everybody bought that one. Well,
Could be worse. It could be Saint Anger.
Spit it out, John. Or Steve. Somebody spit it
The
out.
comment that I made most sense when I read it was, why is the Metallica's Black Album not the first album that came out? Lars should be like just running around jerking people off to get this as the first album. I mean, it's just the way he is.
Yeah, I mean,
Does
hey,
it have something to do with the programming, though? I mean, how hard
you
it
have
is
to pay. You have to pay to download it, so that should make his ass
yeah,
happy.
Yeah, exactly.
$14.99.
Yeah, it's like buying a fucking CD.
How many points is that?
2,000?
Really?
Actually,
No,
2,200.
$10 is 800 points, so I think that's 1,200 points.
Rip off.
Right?
But especially for that album. That album's just not that great.
But
Plus, you can
how
get the
many
real
songs
album
are
for
on the
less than
album?
$14.99.
Yeah.
So that's like pretty much in line with what they're charging for the song packs.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's like 10 songs that nobody knows.
Well,
Yeah, they're
I mean,
keeping the pricing
even
scheme
Judas
the same.
Priest fans don't know these songs.
I really don't see the problem. You know, you don't want it, you don't buy it. Otherwise, you know, they're putting out a full album.
Well,
Woo,
maybe,
they're getting around to
They
it.
have
I mean, you
another
gotta
one
have
just around
singers
the
who can go,
corner, too.
electric eye.
Well, yeah,
You
not only
can
that.
sing in whatever key
No,
you
no,
want,
you just said it
so-
too. That's the other thing.
But you gotta sing it like that.
Yeah, if you're gonna, not only that, thank you for putting Judas Priest out first because, you know, it's singing like Rob Halford is so
Yeah,
easy.
it's like, well, there's...
It's right up there with Peter Frampton.
There's not going to be a rash of kids with busted vocal cords trying to sing as high as Rob Halford.
It's like, well, we had some complaints about people not being able
me in
to
the balls, I need
sing
to sing the song.
Bruce Dickinson, so we'll give you Rob Halford instead. Oh, yeah, that's better. But you give me Give me the guy from White Lion, because he's easy to sing too.
Wait.
Yeah.
I never had a chance to lie to you.
Yeah.
I think more people are just praying for Crash Test Dummies at this point.
Yeah, typo negative.
Then you don't have to sing.
Yeah. And you just need some typo negative songs. You can just go.
Everyone's waiting for Rick Astley.
Yes. Rock band shall be Rick
It
rolled.
really is a shock that was not the April 1st.
Oh, God, I
release.
heard that the other day on my radio at work, and I was like, oh, God, why was this popular? The 80s.
I don't think it was.
It may not be. I don't know why it was popular then, but it's kind of a sad state of affairs that it's getting popular again.
You know what's funny?
But
was
it's
he
popular as a
sounded so
joke,
much-
though.
It doesn't matter. He's still on Soundscape. He still gets
Yeah.
royalties every time it gets played.
He still sounds like Billy Ocean, too. It
Well, I
cracks
love
me
the
up.
fact that you saw what happened with the New York Mets, right? Where they put up a thing, pick the song we're going to play during the seventh inning stretch, and they gave you 5 options, and then they other, and then everybody on Fark, Dig, Read It, and Slashdot all logged on and picked Rick Astley, Never Gonna Give You Up, and it won.
Yeah.
But when the Mets realized what happened, they actually decided to let the fans at the stadium vote on it. I don't know what happened there.
What a crazy concept.
That's actually too bad.
Yeah.
That would have been hilarious. Can you imagine the booing at the stadium?
Actually, yeah, no, but it makes sense because the Mets suck. So, think about it. Yeah, you suck, but I'm still never going to give you up because you're my team. I mean, kind of makes sense. If you see the other songs on there, one was because I'm trying to think. The only song I remember was Bon Jovi's "Living on a Prayer" because the Mets suck.
Now, that would have been apropos.
In related news, did you see the new Activision plan to reinvigorate Guitar Hero 4 by adding more instruments?
Oh, you're kidding me.
No.
It sounds really creative. I think they're
Damn it, I
breaking
should've
some new
checked Kotaku
ground.
today, I knew it.
Oh, my goodness.
I'm kind of curious about the Guitar Hero DS version because it looks like it comes with a little tiny fingering thing that you can add to your DS.
Why bother? I mean,
I don't
really.
know. It just seems
You can't
kinda funny,
download
though.
anything on it.
Once
you get
again,
to look
it's
like a
because
retard.
it's
Go from
because
Guitar
they-
Hero to Guitar Zero.
It's because
You know how
they.
you're gonna have to hold it, Brian. You're gonna have to hold it like it's a book, and then your fingers are gonna be like that to hit the buttons, and you're gonna
Yeah, it's like.
strum with the
Strum,
stylus.
Yeah, so it's like
So no, it's gonna be like
If you're like in the corner, people are going to look at you funny.
it's
They're
not
going to
gonna
think
go
you're
over
doing
well.
something else.
No, it's because once again they want to fully exploit.
I'm
what
just
they're
waiting
trying
for them to come out with Recorder Hero. So, remember those weird little flute things you had to play in elementary school?
I did a comic strip of Harmonica Hero. That was pretty funny.
I want Accordion Hero. Why
No,
not make it fucking hard?
no,
that would be pretty brutal, actually.
no. We don't
Oh,
want
Weird
that.
Al would
And
rule.
then after that, somebody will come out with the follow-up Polka Band.
Yeah. And then you wouldn't get Weird Al Yank, you'd get Frankie Yank.
Yeah, and on top of that, can you imagine what the peripheral for the tuba would be? That would suck, man.
boom, 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 boom. Man, that Frankie Yankovic, there's a relatively obscure reference right there. Anyway, we'll do something else.
All right.
Next.
All right, so we've got some interesting games that John, Nice John, had pointed out to me. Opuna and The World Ends With You, and I know The World Ends With You is the newest Square game, but I haven't heard too much on Opuna.
The World Ends With You? That sounds like the title to a James Bond movie.
Actually, Opuna was not very well rated from a lot of places I went to. It was it looked curious and interesting, but a lot of places were just like, this could have had something to it, but it just doesn't seem that.
Although I do appreciate that the title features the word poon. So
It does, however, look weird.
It's very weird looking, but it's very repetitive from what I understand. And it's not that
it's
exciting.
a Japanese RPG.
Yeah.
So,
Well, yeah. Okay. So enough said there. But
And what have you heard about The World Ends With You? Because I saw the preview and was not that interested in it.
it looks like it has some really unusual mechanics. The idea that it's kind of an apocalyptic RPG crossed with Tokyo fashion sim.
are we going to the
There's some
circus?
odd ideas
Seriously? What
coming
the
in on this
fuck?
one.
Okay, it's supposed to be a tuba, but I just heard a calliope.
Well, they always have the trumpet parts.
But it sounded like a calliope.
All right, so what was that, John? Continue, please.
Roll
So there's some
out the
unusual
barrel.
games coming out on the Wii
Roll
and
out
DS,
the
starting to get a little odd stuff around the edges. Good to see that happen.
Murdock, you can unplug that mic if you want.
I turned him off for a second.
I just turned down the volume.
Give it another 5 years, I might actually want to own a Nintendo system.
This game actually looks kind of cool. It's got some sort of weird arrow control you use the directional pad for.
The Wii is a system full of.
I'm the continuing voice of despair for the Wii.
No, so am
he's
I.
talking about the
There's
DS.
nothing I
Or
want to play.
giggling about the
This
Wii
game's on
jokes,
the
because
DS.
those just don't get
Well,
old.
there's nothing on the Wii I want to play. Screw that. I mean, there's one game, and guess what? It also plays on the GameCube. Twilight Princess. Thanks for nothing, Nintendo.
I was disappointed that Super PP Brothers was not, in fact, a real game. It did seem like the perfect marriage of form and function for the console.
Definitely not first party.
All right, so that's it for the gaming news.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah, well, did you have anything else to share, or did you want
I
to...
talked about earlier. I had something to talk about, and I forgot about what. I got nothing
Yeah, pretty much.
anymore.
All right.
You're going to talk about wheatgrass.
All right, let's blow through these
No.
topics here because you got too many.
Yeah. So we're going to talk about reviews.
Well, okay, reviews. Are they broken? Do we even need them? Yes and no.
Yes and no. So yes, they are broken. No, we don't need them.
Correct.
But,
And CGM figured this out shortly before they went out of business.
yes, but it's still nice to have them.
You know, I gotta say, I really like
Whether we need them or not, although I don't know if but EGM just recently switched to a new rating system, A, B, C, D, and F. Thank you.
Well,
I actually
before
like the way
CGM,
X-Play rates things, too. I've actually come to understand why they rate
X-Play, yeah. I give it a 4 out of 5.
Well, they're actually a little more strict lately. They're not shy to give something a 1 star.
Yeah, that's the thing I do like about
They've been
X-Play.
getting
I
better
mean,
about the
there
ratings.
are a lot of games where, like, here's 2 stars, and you probably shouldn't buy this.
I've decided that reviews are now unnecessary because Metacritic, totally perfect. You don't have to bother reading any of the reviews themselves.
well,
Just get the zeitgeist all at once.
Well, yes, and also, let's not forget, I mean, well, I don't know about everybody here, but the majority of us here loved Assassin's Creed, and it got good reviews, but it didn't get great reviews, and we all think it was easily in the top 5 of last year, so...
It might have been my best game of the year.
Graphics-wise, yeah, definitely.
well,
I mean, I'd have to go through the whole list for it, but
I
it was
saw it
definitely the
open.
most
Although-
memorable game of the year for me.
Ending sucks.
it's supposed to have 2 other games for it. So.
Gears had a shitty ending, too. I didn't hold it against that either.
Yeah, but this ending is borderline Halo 2 ending,
Well,
and that sucks.
anyway, CGM, before they went out of business, they stopped giving ratings entirely.
They're
They
not
still,
out of business. They're actually online only.
well, they
Just
stopped
out of
publishing
print.
it. They went. Yeah,
Well, they
went
just
out of print.
did the review, but
They do the
didn't
review, but they
stick a
keep
score at the
they
end.
get scored in, and they got so many hate mail about. Well,
Yeah.
I don't want to read the review. I just want to see what the score was. It's like
Exactly,
Well,
which
critics-
just proved their point.
Critical fail. I mean, they made their readers read their magazine.
Yeah,
I mean,
how
it
would
was
you
just
want
not
to
a
do
good
that?
plan.
So they are broken. Do we need them? No. Okay. Next up.
I still want them, however.
Well,
Yes, so do I. No, they're not necessary, but they are nice to have.
I'm ambivalent.
you're always ambivalent.
I mean,
always.
do you just look at the
Movies
back
are
of the
good,
box
that's
to
not
figure out what you're
ambivalence.
going to buy? I could
I know-
actually believe that.
I-
for it,
I
'cause,
know-
I mean, if you buy as many games as most of us do, that the shotgun approach ends up finding some good games.
Yeah.
If
Yeah,
you're closer to
Pelletier
the average
something.
game purchasing person who buys
I'm-
4 games a year.
I'm different.
Oh, you got that right.
Yeah, you play nothing but repetitive shooters.
No, sometimes
The rest of us
Schmucks would be
like
technically
other
correct.
games too, Murdock. So yes,
That's true. I mean, if they only come out with like 3 shmups a year,
You
you really need to read the reviews for them? Too much digging there?
Actually, if you
you're all
generally
banned from the
See, that's the
podcast.
weird thing in the shmup community. If you know the maker of the game, you pretty much know whether it's going to be good or bad. It pretty much says it right there because certain ones have such a good reputation, you don't really need a review for them. You know you're going to enjoy them. It's
Didn't
just a
help
weird
with
thing.
Cyanide. Man, I had no idea what to expect out of that.
Well,
fucker.
yeah, nobody had heard of that company though either. Not big, not very popular.
That's because it was their first game.
Yeah, but you go up against somebody like Treasure Raising, any of the older the names, you just know you.
Yeah, but I mean, if you don't play a lot of those
Milestone.
games, you
I
don't
might
have
bring
this
out
innate
Stretch
sense.
Panic for your consideration.
Again, another oddball, an exception to the rule.
A very big exception to the rule. All right, well, let's go to the next topic here. Is the idea of a 7.0 the same as everyone else? I mean, do we agree that if I throw out a game, is it going to be...
question of the first question?
Well,
yes, and so is the next one, too.
So you're basically asking, can we review games objectively so that the review applies equally to all persons?
That is correct.
Good luck with
No.
So let's move on.
In stereo, we're available.
So, I mean, my idea of a 7.0, which I can't think of a game off the top of my head where I would consider it a 7.
You just like them all that much.
Well, see, EGM's calling 7 average, and they're like, if it's average, you'll probably enjoy it. It's
No,
probably
actually,
okay.
7 is good. 6.5 is where average starts.
Well, that's, was that GameSpot?
No,
No, that's
EGM up until they
EGM.
changed. EGM up until they changed to the whole A B C D F was not like 8.5 to 10 was great. 6.5 to 8 was good, and then 6.5 and below was 6.5 to like 4 was average, and then
If
below
you
that
have
was
extra money
sad.
and you want to blow it, sure.
Yeah.
Well, see, but that's even still a 7.0 still confused people. They didn't. They were still like, oh, does that mean it's bad? It's only a 7.
When you crack open a magazine and you see 9.5s for Halo 3, and then you see 7.0s for a game, and you know what? Some people may enjoy that game more than Halo, but they see 7.0 and they're like, oh, that's just not worth my money.
Yeah, but my concept of 7.0 is going to be completely different than yours.
Exactly. You proved your
that's
point, so let's
right.
move on.
Yeah. Well, I'm trying to reiterate to the next point.
Well, here's 3 and 4 also. You're going on to this sort of casual gamer BS. Is it hardcore? Is it casual gamer?
Yes, and also speaking
our older, dumber brother of a review thing on Maxim Radio's One Up thing. They call their thing the Casual Gamer Podcast or whatever, and they've spent like 3 weeks now doing GTA 4.
That's not a casual game.
And I
But
hate
that's what I mean. Casual gaming doesn't mean anything. Casual versus it doesn't mean anything. It's just a marketing term to try to get people to feel less nerdy, so they'll buy video games.
And you know what?
That's the kind of logic I would expect from a casual
Casual
gamer.
is a state of
And speaking
mind.
of casual gamers, they suck. You know, I stopped at GameStop on the way here, and I got stuck in line behind a bunch of casual gamers who apparently know jack shit about video games, and I was looking them ring out all these mediocre titles and being told by the asshole behind the counter at GameStop that they're all good titles, and trying to stop from snickering.
Sell.
Oh,
It's the same thing. A guitar
I
center
hate
just
getting
selling.
stuck in video game stores with people who knows nothing about video games because
Then why are you shopping at GameStop?
because apparently Game Force Denver closed down.
Yeah.
It's always the internet.
I applied it at
Yep.
GameStop about
But-
5 years ago.
But if I do
and
that, then I can't use the internet for porn.
Sure,
They,
you do
they
that
had
for
on the
both
back
at
of
the
the
same time.
they had on the back of the
Hold on.
interview page for GameStop, write down the systems you've played and the games you enjoyed. And I had to actually add another page of my own, and it's funny, I never got a call back from them. So I'm thinking maybe they're kind of like Best Buy, where they don't want you to know too much, but just enough they can kind of shove their own, theology on you and say, oh yeah, every game is really good, just push the game.
No, I think
they
they
don't want
just-
somebody that actually knows about games.
I think they just want you to pay you minimum wage is what they want to do.
I didn't ask for that much either. I was open to that, but I think it was the fact that they were like, yeah, this guy has been playing a few too many games. He's probably going to know more about them than we want him to.
Well,
He's not going to sell our games.
They're not there to sell good games. They're there to
they're
sell,
to sell
games.
Games, yeah,
Preferably
exactly.
used ones.
That needs to be their motto.
Yeah,
We're not here to sell
preferably
good
used
games.
Yeah, they are. They're there to sell used games. It's like at Guitar Center where I go and I say, "Do you have this?" They say, "No, but this does the same thing that does," and it clearly does not.
Wow, a
I'd say-
salesperson lied to you about
Yeah.
features?
Yeah,
You
it's
know, you need to say, "Prove it."
How about not so obviously? It's like one has 6 more inputs than the other one does. So how do I fit my extra 6 microphones on this? Oh, well, you get an expander thing, so I have to buy 3 other ones in
At
order
least
to
they
do
did
what
try and sell
one
you
does.
some light cables.
Yeah.
So where are we getting our reviews from? Just out of curiosity, I mean, are we
Nowhere.
nowhere?
No.
Well, you don't care about reviews.
Well, like we were saying earlier, X-Play is actually pretty decent lately. They've
Well,
been
yeah,
putting it
but-
spot on for.
But when
review-wise.
there's a title coming out, I don't care what the reviews are either. I
You
mean,
kind of know if it's a title you really want. You just know you're going to enjoy it.
The last
there's certain
game-
titles out there you
the
enjoy.
last game that came out that I bought was Rainbow Six Vegas 2. I didn't read a single review on Rainbow Six Vegas 2 because I knew I was going to love Rainbow Six Vegas 2. And guess what? I spend 3 hours a night playing Rainbow Six Vegas 2 on live. So if anybody did give it a bad review, I don't care.
You know, the best
generally
review you
speaking,
can
they
get
said it
to
was
is
just
actually
like Rainbow Six Vegas. So
the best,
Which fucking rock, by the way.
The best review you can get is a demo. Getting to go on to Xbox Live Arcade or a PC demo and get to actually play the game sells, I think, more than the reviews.
Well, as long as the demo doesn't
interesting note
suck.
for this now, they recently did ran some numbers on all of that. Games with demos sold worse than games without demos.
Why was that, or did they?
Well,
because
that's
you
an
could-
excellent question.
Well,
but
almost
We'll
certainly
save that
because
for the
people
next
play it and
podcast.
go,
And guess what? Coming up next week, okay?
this wasn't as good as I thought it was going to be.
Okay.
that's the kind of thing that makes demos seem like a really bad idea
Yeah.
from a publisher point
Okay.
of view.
Yeah.
Okay. Coming down next week, Grand Theft Auto 4. Okay. I reserved this thing months ago. I don't care what the reviews are. I'm going to buy it.
Well, they've already bought their reviews for 10s already, so it doesn't matter.
Well, I think if you
There's
have
certain
a
games you know.
Halo 3, I didn't care what the reviews were. Call of Duty 4, I didn't read any reviews because I knew months in advance when I was seeing the ads for these games, I'm going to buy this game.
Okay, so
Right.
what
So
do you?
sequels to successful franchises sell well.
Yeah.
Now we know
Okay.
why.
Yeah, you know the company, you know the game, you
It
know you're going
really-
to buy the sequel.
it really
Right,
has a
that's
lot.
why they keep making them.
Well, no. Okay, another one. Army of Two. I bought Army of Two. I really like Army of Two. It's not.
I wasn't into the homophobic thing as much.
Homophobic.
The homophobic
No,
thing.
he's saying that he is homophobic. That's right, gay people. Brian hates gay people.
That's okay.
But-
I hate to death. And
Yeah.
we
I
all
was
got our
actually
little
reading
quirks.
some pretty good things about the new 50 Cent game, so I don't know. I mean, things...
Shut up. The first one sucked.
I-
Hey,
You're
see,
going to
you're
Afghanistan?
you're buying. Don't.
I don't buy it. I'm
Don't-
just saying it looked kind of interesting.
See, that's a game where I'd read the review. But yeah, no, I mean, and not just. I didn't read any reviews on Army of Two. I went ahead and bought it, and guess what? I'm glad I didn't read any reviews because I actually think better of it than most of the reviews.
I think you
It's
bought it
not
because
a.
it actually finally came out.
It's not a great game. It's not a great game. It's a really good game, though. And, I really had a lot of fun trying to beat it on live with another friend. So, yeah, I enjoy it. And I didn't read the reviews.
I think the
I mean-
interface could have been a little bit better.
Yeah.
It made me enjoy the game.
Yeah, the melee button on it sucks. Making the melee button on it the same button as the fire button, but you just have to wait till they get within like 2 feet of you and then hit. And then half the time, they still melee you before you melee them. It makes no sense.
Well, thank you for your review of Army of Two.
Thanks for that.
Yeah,
that game.
yeah, you
It sounds
got
like
it.
It's got that Gears
Suck
of
it down, bitch.
It
Yeah.
like it's got that
Do you have
Gears
a-
of War problem where it's kind of rock, scissors, paper.
Yeah.
It's like whoever
Now,
gets it.
what score would you give that? It's what is it? An A out of 26? What Calvin Ball score would you give this?
It was
I think
it was a
obviously
9
gets
out
a
of
2.
C.
We're done.
Yeah.
All right,
It's a
so
9
are
out
we
of
done
C.
with this?
I give it
Basically,
15. I give it
what-
15 stars, Murdock.
Basically,
Yeah.
what it boils down to is that if you have an experience with a genre, you probably don't need to read the reviews.
Exactly. Yeah.
But if you don't, then you need to read reviews.
I like combat tactical games.
Let's move on to
That-
something else.
like Rainbow Six.
Other than John's likes.
That's
No,
what
no, no.
Army of Two was. So.
Reviews are for casual gamers.
Oh, jeez. All right, can we move on from
Thank you!
John Walker's reviews of games he's liked in the last 2 years?
Yeah, and into Angry John's movie review of In the Name of the King, a Dungeon Siege Tale. Do we
God.
still need Angry John music for this?
Do we have Angry John music for this?
Cue Angry John music.
What is it?
It's White Lion. Wait, I never had a chance to lie to you. No.
No.
Bottles are coming out. There's
No.
going to be some damage.
No, for Angry John, we'll just do we'll just rickroll it.
Yeah.
So, review.
All right. Well, first of all, I was supposed to review this movie back in January. It was out in the theaters, but luckily I had a bout of the flu the week it was out in theaters.
Oh, reprieves.
Yes.
Reprieves.
So
That
means I didn't actually have to spend money to watch it. It came out on DVD last week. I didn't pay for the DVD either. Thank you, mininova.org.
Diehard Gamer Radio does not endorse John.
Or take liability.
Yeah,
for his
Diehard Gamer Radio may or may not endorse John's way of obtaining movies.
Oh, jeez.
Okay, but either way,
Continue with the pain.
yes. Well, what can I say about this movie? First of all, it has
Nothing good.
First of all, it has a really talented cast, which was surprising. I mean, I mean, first of all, let's not forget that Uwe Boll actually got a freaking Oscar winner to appear in the first Blood Rain, Sir Ben Kingsley himself. I mean, so obviously he not only is he good at getting financing, he's good at tricking actors. Because Ray Liotta's in this movie, John Rhys Davies is in this movie. There should be a law.
He's been on like the Sci-Fi Channel a lot.
But there should be a law. After you do Lord of the Rings, you shouldn't appear in crappy fantasy movies like In the Name of the King.
Hasn't
the bills don't pay
been in
themselves.
production for like 3.5 years?
The thing's been sitting on the shelf since about 2006.
I mean, it's a long-ass time.
Yeah.
Very obviously, the initial
Well, no, I'm
trailers
sure
for
if you
this
go
very
back-
obviously
No,
looked
if you
like
go-
the Two Towers.
Actually, if you go back to the first time I appeared and did a review, I said the next review I'd be doing would be In the Name of the King because it's coming out next month. And that was about a year and a half ago, so... And
I
it
remember
just...
the previews for that movie because it had 4 different names.
Yes. Burt Reynolds is in it.
What?
Jason Statham is in it. Claire Forlani is in it.
Burt Reynolds.
Matthew Lillard,
He's
who
in that
appeared in
kind of
another...
career where he's just doing anything that gets thrown at him.
Matthew Lillard, who appeared in another video game travesty, Wing Commander, is in it. So, yeah. Now, here's the thing. While you can assemble a talented cast, sometimes they still need a good director to point them in the right direction, and that is obviously not Uwe Boll because
Not to mention a good script.
some of the lines they deliver are just so bad. I was actually thinking, of a line from The Two Towers that I just loved, and then I compared it to the way that Jason Statham delivers the line, "Courage never fails," and I'm like, what? He's like, "Courage never fails." You know what? That line might have worked, but it needs to be delivered right. And obviously, Uwe Boll probably just did that shot in one take and said, "Cut, print it, douchebag." All right, so I've never actually played one of the Dungeon Siege games, so I have no idea what the games are about.
It's nothing like the movie.
This-
I'll tell you right now.
Okay, so anyway, this movie is about the king, played by Burt Reynolds.
Is it about a siege that
no.
may take place in a dungeon?
No, it's not.
Well,
okay, so Burt Reynolds is the king.
There's your problem.
He has no heir, so his nephew, played by Matthew Lillard, who's a conniving little jackass, is plotting to take over. His former wizard has turned on him, is now waging war against him, played by Ray Liotta. He's the villain of the film. Somehow, through all of this, a farmer who actually calls himself Farmer, yes, played by Jason Statham, ends up becoming the hero of the movie. I could go into more detail and spoil the movie for you. Why not? That way you won't have to watch it. Farmer is actually the king's long-lost son and becomes king at the end of the movie. There you go. Thank you.
I'm sure you could have figured that out within about 15
Only
minutes of watching
easy
the movie.
way.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, look at that blocking. It's not obvious at all.
Well, anyway, the script is lazy. The direction is obviously lazy. I will say, I could not believe it. The production design in this movie. So much I was like, holy crap. Did this man find somebody with talent and actually let them use it? Because the production design actually looks good. A lot of it's CGI when they show like shots of the castles and stuff like that. But it looks good. I was surprised that it actually. And I will say, while this movie still sucks on 900 levels, especially Ray Liotta. I mean, the dude, I think he flew in from New Jersey or wherever the hell he lives and read his lines for 2 days and then got back on the plane. And also his wardrobe. Everybody else has this medieval type wardrobe. He looks like some Goomba, and it's just ridiculous.
One of those enemies from Super Mario Brothers?
Yes.
It does seem to be Boll's secret to getting actors into his film is you only have to show up for, half an hour.
Yeah,
You're
maybe
gone.
that's why they do it, yeah. I mean, that's how Robert Rodriguez got Rutger Hauer to show up for Sin City. But either way, it's... And also, just some of the stuff in the movie makes no sense. Like I said, why does the king have ninjas?
Wait, what?
Yes, the king. There's a scene.
You're the king.
There's a scene. There's a battle scene. I actually know why the king has ninjas. It makes sense.
Just make everything better.
But no, the king has this elite guard who dress all in black with masks and leap from treetop to treetop. And I'm not making this up.
Ninjas.
And they just appear in this battle scene. I know why he has ninjas, and I know why. That's why actually some of the fighting sequences actually look different. I can't remember the guy's name, and no, he's not the guy who did The Matrix and Kill Bill. know. But
They make it
at the end, when they showed who the fight choreographer was, the name was Chinese. So I figured, well, so he probably hired somebody there who knew what they were doing too. So some of the fight scenes actually look different. And there's actually 2 or 3 points in the movie where you actually start thinking, this isn't so bad. And then somebody delivers one of those great Yui Bowl lines that make no sense and just delivered with no emotion, no conviction, and you're like, this movie sucks again.
So this sounds like his best film yet.
Yes.
I'm thinking another 10 years he might have something.
It still sucks, I mean, but...
Well, there's hope for Postal, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Did they include the flamethrowers from the original game?
No.
Aw.
No.
That's a bummer.
No. And, yeah, the...
Also no dungeons. So.
Yeah, there's no... I guess there is a dungeon.
Only half the game actually takes place in a dungeon.
Yeah, I mean, who else? Oh, I forgot. Ron Perlman, Hellboy himself, is in this movie. His character is practically useless, though. He shows up. He has dinner with Jason Statham's character. After Jason Statham's character's wife gets captured, they go after her. He gets captured, and then he dies.
You only had to show up for half an hour, man.
Yeah. It's like, I don't know. Maybe it's like, hey, they're making Hellboy 2 across the street. I don't know. I don't know if you guys are still doing this, where you sign the dollar value, but once again, Dr. Uebol.
0 out of 0.
No. If you go to the Dollar Theater on Tuesday when they have their 50-cent special, you'd still feel ripped off by about a quarter. So, yeah, there you go.
But you're willing to pay a quarter for this one. So, I mean, it is a step up.
It is a step up. But like I said, there were a few times where I said, this is not the... of course, every time Ray Liotta was on screen, because he's so bad. He's the worst thing in the movie, easily. I mean, if you've seen Goodfellas, you know the man can act.
Yeah.
But holy crap! I mean,
Totally
it's
out of his element.
well, not just that. Like I said, I think
phone it in.
I think he. The only thing I can assume is that he realized that was a shit movie from the start and figured I'm not going to try. Well, any good director would still, push their actor to at least, attempt to deliver lines. But like I said, any decent director, and this is Dr. Uebol we're talking about. So once again, another movie that can be added to his list in hell of why he should have a pineapple stuffed up his ass by Satan every day that after he dies, in the name of the king, a dungeon
why wait
siege
until
tale.
he's dead, really?
Well, I don't want that job, do you?
That's why Satan gets it.
Thanks for that, John.
So maybe we just need to get the Antichrist here up here stat so we can start working on Uebol.
I'm sure he may be the Antichrist.
Oh, damn. Well, that shoots that whole plan.
And yes, I will return next month to review Postal. Maybe I'll get the flu. I doubt it since it'll be May, and it won't be flu season, but who knows?
You can try. We'll
Yeah.
get you wet, we'll put you out in the cold. We'll
Yeah.
give it a good shot.
Yeah.
Couple eyes.
Get you some pneumonia.
And of course, Ball and his total myopic idiocy is releasing Postal the same day as Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, because nobody wants to see that movie.
That's a great idea.
Yeah. I mean,
They
maybe
should give away buy one, get one free just to give people to
yeah,
go to that
you know
movie.
what? And even though it has no release date, maybe he can plan his next movie to come out the same day as the Hobbit movie, because I'm sure nobody will want to see that too.
Yeah.
So,
buy a primetime ticket for Indiana Jones, and you get a matinee ticket for Postal.
Yeah.
No. What I can do, which will be totally cool, I'll go see the midnight showing of Indiana Jones, and then I'll camp out in front of the theater for Postal.
Postal?
Yeah,
I don't think
I'll even start a line. I'm in line for Postal.
Line for Postal starts here.
And yes, I'm sure that nobody will yell anything mean or crude at me during that whole time.
yeah, but you need to get the T-shirt with Uebol's face on it.
Yeah.
Well, no, because then people might actually try to attack that with projectiles and stuff.
With pineapples.
Yeah. No, I'm serious. Somebody may actually try to shoot an arrow at me or something from their crossbow, and hit me in the chest.
No, it'll be some guy hiding
Because
in a
there's
cardboard box.
there's people who keep crossbows in their trunks of their
Driving
cars
the front
as they
row
go
on
to the movie
I-25,
theater. So.
yeah.
Just in case they see Mr. Bolt.
Yes, exactly. You know what? If I
I
knew
gave up and took mine out.
if I knew he was going to show up, I might carry a crossbow. Expo in my car.
That will have a pineapple at the end of the book.
Yeah.
Yes, it'll be like one of Green Arrow's gimmick arrows. Yes, so it'll either have a pineapple or a boxing glove.
Yeah. You'll say, hey, look at that, the Goodyear blimp, and turns around and whoop, up the poop.
Thanks.
Move on.
Yeah, all right.
So last week I watched Resident Evil Extinction. Speaking of video game movies.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, unless you're Alfred Hitchcock, the scariest thing in your movie should not be a flock of birds. It's really a bad plan, and it doesn't work at all.
The movie sucks. I didn't even think about reviewing it because, I mean, I continue to hear people who defend the Resident Evil movies. No.
I think the first one is great. I truly like it and think it's one of the better zombie movies that's been made.
No, I completely disagree with you. The only thing, as a matter of fact, before I lost my digital cable, it was on, and I just said, all right, I'll come back when Mila falls off the table in the hospital. That's all I care about, because I get to see her cooch. No.
You mean that dog from that Stallone movie?
Yes.
Yes, that's who I meant. Exactly.
Okay.
About the only entertainment value to be had out of Extinction actually comes from the commentary track, which does truly qualify as commentary tracks of the damned. As a great number of actors try very hard to convince you that this was a good movie.
Wow.
They're not very convincing.
No.
Yeah.
No, because because as they talk, the movie is actually on, and so it's like point counterpoint.
All right.
They did.
I
however,
say,
cut
let 'em
the best
die.
scene from the movie, where they have a crane going out over the horde of zombies and extend a snare so as to grab one of them and haul them out of the crowd of zombies struggling on the end of a wire. It's fishing for zombies. It really needs to be made, preferably using the Dreamcast fishing controller.
Yeah. See, where the first Resident Evil movie lost me, by the way, the first time I watched it, real quick, is it's a zombie movie. You get turned into a zombie when you die, or you get bitten by a zombie. There's a part where a guy gets pulled into a crowd of zombies, and next time we see him, he's a zombie, and he has not a bite on him. So apparently, I don't know. I don't know how he became a zombie, but now he's a zombie. And you would think that they would have eaten him, or at least one of them would have bitten him, and he would have bitten him, and he would have gotten away. But no bites on him. And I don't know.
Bit him on the back of the head, man. Don't worry about it too much.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. It just... Screw that movie, and screw the two sequels, too. The only reason worth watching for is, the ass. Seriously. Mila in the first one, Mila and Sienna Gilroy in the second one, and Mila and Ali Larter in the third one. Fuck these movies. Seriously. That's the reason why I'm sure half the teenage boys showed up.
May not represent, mine.
Well, yeah, but I'm sure that's why half the teenage boys showed up for that movie. They're like, hey, look, it's hot. It's hot
you
chicks.
Put Brian to sleep.
Damn, that was some good work.
Everything puts Brian to sleep.
We would like the viewers to know that Walker actually put Brian to sleep.
Everything puts Brian to sleep, though.
I'd like to let the viewers know I've been up since fucking 3:30 a.m.
The viewers don't
I
care.
don't think you need to
And he loves the cock.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think we'll end it now.
Yes, the movie sucked that much.
I think we'll end it now because I'm not feeling like a review here.
And you can't manage a 60-second review.
Review, bitch! Review!
Right.
Apparently, the
I've got the
dulcet
hiccups too.
tones of John have put us all into a...
You got 60 seconds.
soporific
It's
stupor.
not like it's a great game, so...
All right. Well, I'll do the review. I've got 60 seconds on the clock. Okay.
Okay. Right, let's go here.
Now.
Not now. Now.
Now.
Okay.
On three.
You're already 5 seconds
Not
ahead.
on three.
All right, well-
3, then go.
All right. Well, my review is on Heavenly Guardian. It's the Kiki Kai Kai 2 sequel that was supposed to come out, never did. Got changed. Sprites got changed. Backgrounds got changed. Now
It's all snowmen.
Yeah, it's all snowmen. She's like the winter goddess who's looking out for her human boyfriend in this town, and she has the hots for the boy, but she doesn't know. So she has to gather all these ingredients because this boy got sick. So you fight 8 bosses to get these 8 ingredients. Game pretty solid, but very, very hard. Not a lot of production value, but what do you want for the price that you're paying for it?
Not a lot of gameplay.
Yeah, so for the $14 you spend on it, it's like worth maybe 10. So there's the review.
Good work.
I think we got time to spare.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let me complain about Resident Evil some more.
The game makes Legend of Mana look like a masterpiece.
Well, Legend of Mana is not that bad.
Yeah, I like that game.
GameSpot did just review it, and I think they gave it a 3.5.
Wow.
The new adjusted rating scale. It's not a recommendation.
Out of what? Is that 10?
10.
Oh.
Well,
I don't know. I haven't read GameSpot in a while. I haven't read it in about a year, and the whole Gersman thing didn't help. So
yeah, not that I've read them ever.
Dicks, all of them.
So, does anyone else have any 60-second reviews? Otherwise, I'm ending this thing.
End it.
Just put a bullet in its head. It's done.
yeah, kill it.
Yeah,
If you end it right now, you'll actually beat the hour mark.
Yeah, because John's review kind of killed it.
Good. It was supposed to.
Yeah, Dungeon
Okay?
Siege.
Lord knows it killed me.
You know what else will kill it? Actually watching In the Name of the King. Because after that
That will
you
kill
won't
you.
want to do anything. You'll be like, why the fuck did I watch this movie? And then go to bed. And then you'll wake up depressed the following morning.
Yep.
Well, thank you for listening to Die Hard Gamer Radio.
Thank you for listening to Die Hard Gamer Radio. You can visit our website at diehardgamerradio.com and iTunes, or you can email us at diehardgamerradio@gmail.com.